Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with yet another illustration video, and this illustration is being done on Procreate, and I wanted to experiment with the symmetric illustration feature in Procreate because sometimes I want to see the image or the design full force, as in the front view and exactly how it would look on either side without any pose or anything. So in this illustration I haven't used any kind of croquis, and I have done direct sketch of the outfit. Now if you are starting off, it may be difficult for you to sketch the outfit directly without a croquis. So you can take the front facing croquis, exactly symmetrical, a croquis which is exactly symmetrical on either side, and do the sketching of the outfit on that. Okay, so let's quickly see how the symmetric feature in Procreate is used. It's amazing, and it's really a time saver. Let's quickly see that. So we start by opening the Procreate app, and in Procreate app you can select the canvas size. I generally tend to go with A4 size as I find it easier and I relate with it a little bit more. So once you have opened it, click on this wrench kind of a sign which you see on the left hand side. Okay, and when you click that, you will see something as drawing guide. It is switched off always, so switch it on. The moment you switch it on, you will see edit drawing guide. Click on that, edit drawing guide, and then at the bottom click on symmetry, that is on the right hand side. Right at the right hand side, select that, and the moment you do that, you see this vertical line, center line appear in the center of the page, center of the canvas. And once that is done, you are ready to go. So whatever you do on one side, you have to just do it on one side. Automatically it gets done on the other side. So it is very easy and very convenient. I find it very convenient to use this whenever I am doing something which I need to show the symmetry on both sides, so that the design is well understood. And the top, the shirt that I am making is in layer 1. So as you know, I have mentioned earlier also in the Procreate other tutorial that in Procreate we work in layers. Okay, so this is the shirt that I am creating at first, and the collar that I have chosen is double collar. So you will see soon what I mean by that, because there will be two colors added in the collar. I am doing the placket right now. Now I could have chosen straight line to do the placket, but I wanted it to be a little bit more organic, hence I am going freehand, and I have not taken absolute straight lines, which is an option that you can use as well. Once that is done, I am proceeding with the sleeves, and because I want to add a little bit of volume towards the end of the sleeve, so hence you see that I have added a little bit of volume. This is how we add volume. So at any point of time you feel you need to correct, there is no problem. You see the eraser, that is the third one from the right hand side. Click on that, adjust the size of the eraser from the right hand side scroller, and you can then erase. Okay, so now I am doing the cuff of the sleeve, and I'm pretty much happy with how my top is looking right now. So next what I will do is I will proceed to make the pants. Okay, so for that I will select another layer. Once you have selected another layer, by default it will not give the symmetry option, so you have to click on drawing assist. Once you click on drawing assist, then again you will get the symmetrical option for the other layer also. Otherwise it will just happen in one side only. Okay, now just the way I had made the shirt, I am now drawing the pants. It is a little bit high waist pant, as you can see, firstly, and secondly it is a little bit wide bottomed pant. It's not a palazzo, but it is a little bit wide bottomed pant because that is what is in right now, and this is something that I am designing for myself. And since I am not very heighted, I feel high waist pants with little bit wider bottom will add some height to my frame, to my structure. Okay, I'm just going along. I'm correcting as and when I feel it needs to be corrected, and this pant is getting done in another layer. Okay, it is not in the same layer as the top. So I'm going back to the layer of the top. Why? Because I don't want this overlapping thing, the top on top of the pant. So I'm erasing the part which is overlapping the pant, and I'm tucking it in, okay, because I want to tuck in the shirt. See, the moment I do that, the entire dress is looking much more formal, much more sophisticated, and it automatically added height to the entire image. If you can visualize it, earlier it was looking a little bit shabby, and that is what I wouldn't prefer, especially when I'm going for business meets or some seminars, conferences, etc. So I would want to look a little bit more professional and clean. So now the line that I added on the side of the pants is a design element, which you will see. That is also a kind of repeat that I will be adding. Okay, now I have created another layer. Now this layer that I have created is now to color the shirt. I'm not doing the coloring in the same layer in which I had sketched the shirt. Okay, it's in a different layer again, so that you get both the things on both the sides. When you draw on one side, you get it symmetrically on the other side also. So you have to select on drawing assist. Here I'm selecting the color that I actually want. You can move around in the color wheel and in the spectrum, and you can choose the color, mix your color, and choose the color. Once you are happy, you can start. So here I'm starting with the collar, as you can see. So it's very easy actually. You do the entire outline with the color and then just drag the color into the collar and drop it. So entire color gets filled, the collar gets filled. There might be some traces where you will be able to see whites and it's not fully colored, so then you can zoom in and do those fine refinement. Okay, now you see that once I filled the color, the black lines are not clear, and I want the black lines to be very clear. I like when the outline is very clear and crisp. It gives a nice look. So what I'm doing, I dragged the color layer below the sketch layer. So what happens, that way the sketch layer is on top, hence the black lines are much more prominent, and all the defects of the colored layer get hidden by those lines of the sketch layer. Okay, I went back to the sketch layer. I'm refining the placket a bit, as you can see here. Yeah, so I did that for some time till I was happy with how the placket looked. Then I went back to the again the color option, selected the same color, and then I started coloring the sleeves. Yeah, because the sleeves are of the same color. Followed the exact same process, made the outline with the color, and then drag the color circle that you see, the circle on the left hand side, top right hand side, sorry, and you just click and drag that into the space, and the entire space will get filled. If you do that without making the outline, then entire canvas will get filled with the same color, which we don't want. We only want the sleeve to be of that color. So be very particular, be very careful that you make the outline first and then drag the color into the space. So here you can see, I'll click on that color and simply just drag it into the sleeve. Okay, before that, before I actually do that, I am doing the cuff as well, making the outline, because this is also going to be the peach color. And now see, I clicked and dragged the color onto the cuff. Same way I'll click and drag the color onto the sleeve. Yeah, so now you see one side of sleeve I did, but both the sleeves got done. So my work is much faster this way. Yeah, next, because this has white lines, I will be making the white lines. That is how my fabric is, and that is what I am doing in the illustration as well, because final thing will be much more closer to what I am going to make, right? So the lines will be obviously there in the sleeves also, because it is the same print that I'm going to use in the sleeve. Same print is what I'm going to use in the cuff. And once I have done that, then I'll proceed with the next stage. So all the lines are done of the sleeve. Now I'll move to the pants. Okay, and so for that, again I'm creating another layer to color the pants. Okay, and this layer will be just below the sketch of the pant layer, okay, because I want the lines, the black lines to be absolutely prominent, the outline, okay, and the side that you see, that is what will be peach, again the striped peach, the sides of the pants as you see here in the image. So I am selecting the color, making the outline just the way that I had done earlier, and then I will click and drag the color into the empty space to fill up the entire space. So it is exactly the same what we have seen earlier. Exactly the same thing is what I'm doing here as well. Right, so now that the colors are filled, now I will start making the white lines just the way I had done in the sleeves. So I'll select the white color. I'm just making the outline a bit better. So for that I selected the black color before I move on to make the white stripes, because as I said, I like black outline. It gives a nice definition and the illustration looks good. I don't want it to look like real life like illustration, that is not my aim, but I want it to look good so that everything is very clearly defined. The person who is looking at the diagram is able to understand what it is. The tailor will be able to understand what I am trying to do, and I obviously will have a clear image of what it is actually that I am about to create. So all these that I am doing, I am using the option of technical pen under the brush. I have always felt it much convenient, and I feel very comfortable to work with that because I'm also kind of beginner. I have not been I have not done Procreate earlier. So this is kind of, these are all my beginner level illustrations, you can say, on Procreate. I'm more of a manual person. I do a lot of illustrations, but on actual paper using actual colors, pencils and all that. But digital is something which really fascinates me, and I guess that you have to progress with time, because if you don't progress with time, I don't want to become a Nokia or a BlackBerry where I get left behind. And this is the age of technology. So everybody, every field, all the fields are using this technology, to bring themselves up. So why not in fashion designing, and why not in illustration? So this is an excellent option here. The illustration gets done much faster compared to a paper and actual colors. The same thing would have taken me much more time because I would have gone to and fro a few times, making the lines, erasing them, redoing it and all that. Yeah. Now what I'm doing here is, since I've added volume near the sleeve ends, I am adding those folds that you see when there is volume. So for the folds, I've taken a darker color, and I'm just making those marks for the fold, okay, those lines and those curves for the lines. And then if you see, I have selected the fourth option from the right, okay. Select the fourth option from the right, take the pen, obviously we are using the pen, and just rub it on top of the lines that you have created. So then it smudges the line and it gives a nice shading effect. That is what I have learned, and that is what I'm using right now. When I come across another way to do the shading much better way, or maybe I like this actually a lot, but there may be a better way, and if you know any better way, then put it in the comments below. If you have been doing it, if you have used it, do put it in the comments below. Otherwise, if I come to know, that is something definitely that I will be using in whatever next project I do after knowing about it. So what I'm doing here, I have just selected that fourth option from right, and I'm just dragging the Apple pen on top of these lines so that it gets smudged and gives a nice shading effect. And as usual, as you see, whatever I'm doing on the left side of the top, the same thing is getting done on the right side of the top as well. So I don't have to go back. It is absolutely symmetrical. I don't have to go back to the right side and do it all over again there. Yeah. And so this is how the shading I added in the sleeves. I will work on it a little bit more maybe, and then I will move my attention to the shirt, as in I will start doing the shading for the shirt, because when you add shades, shadows, etc. to a dress, to an illustration, it looks more 3D types. It looks a little bit more real. Obviously this is not real, this is not a real image, but it looks a little bit more real, and it gives you kind of a little bit more clarity on how your dress or outfit is going to look. So that's why I will do the shading for the top, although the top is going to be white, so it does not need to be done any I mean, it does not need to be shaded and all that, but I always prefer that, because then it adds a lot of character and all. And this is an ongoing process, you see. The more and more you do, the more and more you practice, you get to learn a lot of things, you get a new perspective, you research a little bit more to understand how a certain thing is done. And it is all about practice. People think that drawing or illustration or any kind of creativity is inborn, or maybe it is a gift from a birth gift. But recently I read a book. It's Grit by Angela Duckworth, and it's an amazing book. It's about how you can develop any skill. You can be an ace in any skill if you practice enough. So it is all about practice. And earlier I used to think I'm a very creative person, I've been gifted, I've born gifted. But then when I read the book, I kind of thought of my childhood, and I realized that because my mother had introduced me to drawing and all that at a very early age, so I used to practice whole day. I used to be with that time we used to have these black slates when I was a child, and whole day I used to practice in that with chalk. I used to erase and do it again, erase and do it again. And I would love the process. When I would create something new, people would like it, I would love that attention, and that would even propel me further. So I would do something more, I would do something better, I would do the next variation. So that is what I realized, that it's not just that I consider myself moderately good in sketching and drawing and painting, etc. But it's not because I was born with it, it's but because I have practiced enough. Okay, I can practice much more to be very good, but I am not bad. And it is only because I have practiced it enough. So if you are one of those who feels that oh, I don't have the skills, I'm not artistic enough, then stop thinking like that and start practicing. Because if you practice more and more, you practice, you will keep getting better, provided that interests you. Yeah, if you're not interested in it, if it is something that does not motivate you enough, then it wouldn't work. Okay, because you can practice something only when you love it, only when you like that. Okay, so only then will you be able to practice that a lot. Okay, so now having said that, now as you see, I am doing the shading for the top. I am following the exact same process. I have taken a little bit of a darker shade of gray, because that is how the shadows look on a white top. And I've just made the lines wherever the shadow will be, and then I have selected that fourth option from right. You see it is selected, and I am just rubbing on the lines continuously with the Apple pen till the lines get smudged and it looks nice and properly shaded. So I'll continue doing that. You see that some of the lines near the armhole are fading, near the sides of the top are fading, the lines near the gather that is there at the waist, that is fading, the lines that are near the armhole has completely become smooth right now, and it is looking like a shadow. So exactly the same thing is what I will be doing for the cuff, for the pants, for the waistband as well. and my design is ready. I hope you liked the tutorial. Only thing that remains is the signature, so I am just signing it. And if you remember, the symmetry mode was on, so whatever I did on one side, the mirror image got created on the other side. I definitely don't want the other one, so I'll just erase the signature that is on the left hand side of the image. And yeah, so then it's pretty much done. If you liked this video, do give it a like and share it with your friends, and please do comment in the comment box, and yes, please do subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with yet another video next week. See you all soon. Have a wonderful week ahead. Bye bye.